Student 0. Huh? Is it 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
This is for the 2 pi period, isn't it?
Yes.
And first method. So this is appearing AN or BN. Your doubt is in AN or BN.
EN, ma'am.
AN. Okay.
Yes.
AN is in cos. One by pi minus pi to pi. This is sin x cos nx dx. Okay, I can take it as 0 to pi. Okay. This is AN. Oh. So you are using sin and cos. So it is n plus 1 and n minus 1 like that. Isn't it? Cos and sin or sin and cos. It is n plus 1. Whether it is 1 cos of n plus 1. Okay. This is 1 by pi, 0 to pi. And I can take cos by cos. Sin of a plus b. Sin of ms first. Okay, sin value is 1. So it is plus 1 minus nx dx. Like this you are having. Or if I take n minus 1, it will be here minus. That also okay. This is minus cos n plus 1x by n plus 1. So this is minus cos. If I take n minus 1, it is plus. That is the meaning. Okay. Next, by n minus 1. So if I take n minus 1, it is minus. Then here it is plus. That is the meaning. So if I take 1 by pi, upper limit it is minus cos n plus 1 pi by n plus 1 plus cos n minus 1 pi by n minus 1. Minus of minus plus cos 0 is 1 and minus 1 by n minus 1. Oh, you just see this one. It is 1 plus minus. That's what I am asking. This is minus 1 power, minus of minus 1 power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Plus this is minus 1 power n minus 1 by n minus 1. Plus 1 by n plus 1 minus 1 by n minus 1. Is it okay now? Aravind or Arun?
Aravind, ma'am.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
So this minus sign, if you are putting here it is plus, you should be right in 1 minus n. Otherwise the entire thing will be wrong. Because sine of minus theta is minus sin theta. So we cannot write 1 minus n as a n minus 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So last class I have given one problem. You try to complete that problem. I have just told and I Finish that. There it is given e raised to minus x square, isn't it? That is into cos bx. So instead of using the cos bx as it is, you can take cos bx as e raised to minus x square. Cos bx is e power I bx plus e power minus I bx by 2. Okay, then you multiply these two to find Fourier transform. You have one iwx dx also. Okay, now you divide this into 2. That is, you multiply e raised to minus x squared, that is ax squared, I think. It is ax squared. You multiply e raised to minus ax squared and e raised to ibx and this. Okay, 3 times you multiply. Okay, and then you make it to perfect square. Then the problem will be very simple. Otherwise, if you use integration by parts for e and cos, you cannot solve the problem easily. So you just multiply these 3 and you divide into 2 integral and then you apply the perfect square method. Okay, is it clear? So last class we have started one problem, that is you do yourself. I am asking, you do it for your homework, isn't it? So you just try this in this way. Instead of cos bx, you make it as e power ibx plus e power minus ibx. It will be very simple. That method also you can do, that is integration by parts, but it will be very lengthy process, but it will be very simple. If you do the problem in this way, it is simple. Okay. This will be e raised to minus x square plus ibx plus iwx, and then it is minus, I think, isn't it? For Fourier transform, it is minus. Then you multiply e raised to minus x squared, this one. Then you make it into perfect square form. Okay, the perfect square form, when you find the perfect square form, x square term, x term, then constant term. Like that you have to, your term must be there. Okay. Is at what time you want to write the exam tomorrow? At 2 o'clock? Hmm? Tomorrow will be an exam, no? Ah. At 2 we will start. Okay. Okay. But exam will be exactly 1 hour. Okay, I won't give any no more further minutes. Okay, exactly 1 hour. And one thing is, you have to be online on your video. Okay, I have to invigilate you, each and every one of you is writing or not. And one more thing is, whether that girl Aarti is know the exam schedule. What about the Aarti?
I will inform her, ma'am.
What?
I will inform her, ma'am, the test.
You will inform. When?
Today itself, ma'am.
Today itself. Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, but I have sent the message, but whether she is received or not, I don't know. That is, I'm asking. Okay. Then we will go to the next one, that is the application of this Fourier transform. This is one of the main things. It is main application is heat equation. Okay. And here we have two That is a heat equation, that is one-dimensional heat equation and a two-dimensional heat equation. One-dimensional in the main sense, you have either the x direction alone, only one direction. So the heat flow in this direction, that is a lateral motion only possible. Okay. And here the heat equation, that is here we are not deriving the heat equation. So you are given the heat equation, you have to solve the heat equation by means of Fourier transform. Because the derivation of heat equation itself a very big thing, but the solving is another big problem. So combining these two will give you a very big problem, but you cannot solve this problem within if you are given only 1 hour, in the sense you will do the problem, this problem itself you will take more than 40 minutes. Okay, so I just take the equation of, that is equation of the heat problem or the heat flow as given, and we solve the problem. Okay, so the equation or the heat equation is given as dou u by dou t. So u is a heat function, u of x comma t. Okay, dou u by dou t equal to, this is c square into del squared of u. So del squared, what is del squared u? It is dou squared u by dou x square plus dou squared u by dou y square plus dou squared u by dou z square if the object is in three-dimensional space. Okay. Okay. So this equation will give you the temperature, that is if we are having, this is in more general, it is x, y, z and t. Okay, u is a function of x, y, z and t in a body of homogeneous material. What is homogeneous material? The material must be, if the material is made up of wood, so entire thing must be made up of wood. If it is metal, then the metal is unique. That is, it may be some copper or it may be iron, or it need not be a combination of copper and iron. That is the meaning of homogeneous material. Homogeneous means it made up of a unique material. Okay, and and here what is your c squared is thermal diffusivity and c squared. And one more thing is, what is c? C is c squared is k by sigma into rho. Okay, and his k is called thermal conductivity, and k is thermal conductivity. And sigma is specific heat. So these things only appear in your problem. So we are assuming the heat equation. Okay, this is a heat equation. We are not deriving. If you want to derive the heat equation, this is a big problem. So I just the equation as granted. I take the equation as granted. Okay, so dou u by dou t equal to c squared into del squared u, wherein c squared is given by k by rho sigma, and k is the thermal conductivity and sigma is specific heat and rho is density of the material. Suppose if you are taking a wood or water or anything, so density of the material. So one more thing is, you have to consider the material should be homogeneous material. That you keep in your mind. And already we have written what is del square. Del square is the dou squared u by. That is this is called the Laplacian, and this Laplacian is given in Cartesian coordinates. That is x, y, and z. Okay. And the main application is, I have given the problem and explained and how the problem has been solved like this. Okay. And the problem is, so here consider, take down this problem. Consider this is the one-dimensional heat equation problem. Okay, consider the temperature in a, this is one-dimensional heat equation. Just not how this is one-dimensional, we will see. Consider the temperature in a long thin bar or a wire. Or a wire of constant cross section. Constant cross section and a homogeneous material. Which is oriented along x-axis. Oriented along the x-axis and is perfectly insulated. That is, heat will not go outside. That is the reason. Perfectly insulated. Okay. Insulated laterally. So that heat flows in the x direction only. Okay. So this is the problem. It is given. So the temperature in a long thin bar or a wire. So we consider the temperature in a long thin bar or a wire. Suppose if you consider the wire or a bar, it may be like this. Okay. And here, if you consider this cross section, suppose I take the cross section in this square. If it is bar, it may be like this, isn't it? If I take the square of this, here inside also you are having this structure, okay, the cross section. That is the meaning here. So if you consider the cross section, what is given? So the cross section is with a constant cross section. Why the constant cross section? In the sense, here what is the thickness or the area what is given? The same area is here and is the same area. So that is the cross section is same in the sense, if you find this pen, if you find this pen, here it is, this is like a wire, okay, this is like a wire. Here, wherever you cut the wire, you have the same area here, okay, that is the meaning. So this area will be same everywhere, wherever you cut the wire. So that is given as constant cross section and homogeneous material. That is already I have explained what is homogeneous material, and which is oriented along the x-axis. That is, the wire is extended along the x-axis. And what is that? So which is oriented along the x-axis in the sense the temperature is oriented along the x-axis. So the temperature is passing along the x-axis like this. The temperature moving from horizontal direction, and is perfectly insulated laterally. The wire is perfectly insulated laterally, so that the heat flows in the x direction only. It is given the heat flows only in the x direction. It should not go up or down like that. Okay, so the heat will be transferred in the horizontal direction only. So there is no movement of the heat in vertical or this way like that. So the heat will be moving only in one direction. Therefore, if I take u as your heat variable, okay, the temperature is denoted by the variable u, then u depends only on x and t, isn't it? U depends only on x and t. Therefore, the general heat equation, what is the general heat equation? Dou u by dou t equal to dou squared u by dou x square plus dou squared u by dou y square plus dou squared u by dou z square into c square. This is the general equation of the heat. But here there is no Vertical or the third dimension motion is not available, only one direction is available. So this term will not appear. So the heat equation will become, that is, hence the heat equation is, what is this? Dou u by dou t equal to c square into dou squared u by dou x square. What is this x? X is the displacement of the heat and t is the time. Okay. This is u depends only on x and t in the sense x is the displacement and t is the time. So as time varies, the heat may be changed and in the position also. So here in the starting position, the temperature will be higher and here the temperature will be lower. So the temperature will be depends on the displacement or the distance as well as the time. Okay. Hence the heat equation will be dou u by dou t equal to c squared into dou squared u by dou t square, where what is your c square? C squared will be k by rho into sigma. In some problem, the rho and sigma are explicitly given, but our aim is how to solve or how to find the solution of this heat equation. This is the equation of one-dimensional motion, isn't it? So that is we have to solve one-dimensional heat equation. This is the one-dimensional heat equation. Okay? This is the one dimension because the only one directional motion is possible here. One direction. The motion is possible only along the x-axis alone. There is no other motion of the heat is exist. Okay. Therefore, the equation or heat equation or the equation of the heat is dou u by dou t equal to u squared into dou squared u by dou x squared. So we have to solve this equation by means of Fourier series or Fourier transform. So I will write this as, so this is called the one-dimensional heat equation. Suppose you asked to find what is the solution of one-dimensional heat equation. You are find the solution of one-dimensional heat equation. Just I have asked the question very in a simple way. You have to start from the consider the temperature and you have to proceed. Okay. This is called the one-dimensional heat equation. And how to solve this? Our aim is to solve this equation. Okay. So next step is solution for one-dimensional heat equation. We are going to solve the equation. So first I assume that this is the rod or the bar or the wire. Okay. So this is, I take the length of the wire B L and initially it is 0 and last it is the L. Okay. And assume that at the ends of the wire or ends of the bar, the temperature is 0. Okay. This is the case 1. Okay. Case 1, I have assumed that the ends x equal to 0, okay, and x equal to L. What is L? L is the length of the bar, okay, okay. L of the bar are kept at temperature 0. That is, at the end points of the wire, the temperature is 0. That is T equal to 0. Here also T equal to 0. We are assuming. And then, what are the boundary conditions? So the boundary conditions are That is here, u is a function of, what is u? In general, u is a function of x, y, z and t. But we have no y and z. Therefore, u is a function of just x and t. Okay. Therefore, when t equal to 0, we are having u of x comma 0. Okay. That is the boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions? It will be either x equal to 0, x equal to L and t equal to 0. There are three. Okay. So, this is u of, first I take x equal to 0. So, 0 comma, is it clear? 0 comma t. So, temperature at the starting point. So, temperature at 0, temperature at L. What is the value here? It is 0. Okay. This is not T0, T0, but here it is not T0. So, initially this T is the temperature. This T is time. Okay. So initially the time is here 0. That is not a problem. Okay. This is distance. Okay. L, the 0 is x will be 0, x will be L. And this t will be time. So initially here the time is 0. But here at the end point we don't know what is the time. Okay. And one more thing is u is the temperature. U at the initial it is 0 and here also u is 0. Okay, that is clear. We assume that the ends x equal to 0 and x equal to L are kept at 0 temperature. So the end is 0 and this is the end is 0. This is x equal to 0. This is x equal to L. At x equal to 0, u is 0. At x equal to L, u is 0. Therefore, for whatever the temperature, whatever the time, the temperature will be 0 at both the ends. Okay. Therefore, u of 0 comma t is 0 and u of L comma t is also 0. This is true for all t greater than or equal to 0. This is for all t greater than or equal to 0. Is it clear? That is, at any time t, the temperature at the initial point is 0. At any time t, the temperature at the end point is also 0. That is the meaning. These two are the initial conditions. And one more thing is, if f of x is the initial temperature in the bar at time t, that is, let f of x be the initial temperature of the bar at the time t equal to 0. Okay. That is, what is meaning? U of x comma 0, isn't it? X comma t, instead of t it is 0. This is denoted by f of x. Okay. So these are the these three are the boundary conditions. Here once again we can see what is f of 0. F of 0 is u of 0 comma 0, isn't it? But u of 0 comma 0 is u of 0 comma t is 0 for all t. Therefore, u of 0 comma 0 is also 0. And the f,
Ma'am,
yes.
when t is equal to 0, x is not always equal to 0, ma'am.
T is time. Okay.
When t equal to 0, can we have x value, ma'am?
T equal to 0, the time is 0. Okay. The time initially we have started the experiment. We assume the time we start the experiment at t equal to 0. Okay. Okay. And we start the origin. Here itself we are starting the temperature or the object temperature. We are reading the temperature from here. Then in that case x is equal to 0. Okay. If I measure the temperature from here, then the t will, then in that case x will be not 0, isn't it? So x cannot be always 0 when t equal to 0. Okay. It depends on the person who take the readings like that. Okay, what is your f of L? But it automatically it will come because u of x comma 0 is f of x. When you take u of 0 comma t is 0, when I take x is equal to 0, then also at t equal to 0, that also will be 0. Okay. When t equal to 0, x is also, when t and x are 0, this f of x is 0. That's all. We can, the temperature is also 0. That we can assure. Okay. And what is our f of n? F of n is u of n comma 0. That is also 0. So I take this as equation 1 and this 2 expression as equation 2 and one more, that is our heat equation, that is one dimensional heat equation. I take one some star or a Roman letter 1 like that. That is one dimensional heat equation is dou u by dou t equal to c square into dou square u by dou x square. This is equation 1, Roman letter 1. Okay. Now, if we use these two conditions, that is, this is a boundary condition, this is also the boundary condition. Using these two boundary conditions on equation, using these two boundary conditions, we have to solve the equation Roman letter 1. Okay, we have to solve the equation, or we have to solve the heat equation by using these two boundary conditions. So, first you derive two differential, that is ordinary differential equations. Okay. Is it clear up to this? Is it clear? Okay. So the next step is I take step 1. Okay. So constructing or formation of two ordinary differential equations. Okay. We are getting two differential equations. So by putting some substitution. So put u of x comma t equal to f of x into g of t. That is, f is a function of x alone. That is, f is function of the displacement and g is a function of the time. Okay. In the heat equation, that is, I take Roman letter 1. Now, what on the Roman letter, that is the equation, what the equation will become? If you substitute this u equal to f into g, and what is dou u by dou t and dou square u by dou x square, then only we can substitute in equation 1. Okay. So, put u of x comma t and f equal to f into g in equation 1 means we got to find what is dou u by dou t and dou u by dou x, then dou square u by dou x square. After finding this, what is 1 becomes. Okay, that is the meaning here. First you find what is dou u by dou t from this expression. Because f is a function of x alone, you can treat this as constant, okay, f of x, and g is g dg by dou t. Because it is a function of t alone, I can take it as a, instead of partial derivative, it will become ordinary total derivative. Why it will total derivative? Since g is a function of t alone, there is no more variable. So we can take the partial derivative of g with respect to t as the total derivative of g with respect to t. Okay. Therefore, this g, in your book notation it is dot. So I can take dot itself. That is, this is nothing but dg of dt. Okay. This g dot is dg by gt. That is the meaning. Now you find dou u by dou x. Dou u by dou x is, that is f dash of x into g of t. Is it clear? What is dou square? This is f dash of x into g of t. So derivative of f, this what is f dash? Where f dash is df by dt. This is also total derivative because this f is a function of x alone and g is here, or you can write it where f is a function of x and g is a function of t. Okay. Just it consists of only x and only t, where f is a function of x alone and g is a function of t alone. Okay, therefore we can find dou u by dou t, dou u by dou x, and now you substitute dou u by dou t and dou square by dou x squared in equation 1. So equation 1 becomes, So on the right hand side, you are having f x g dot t. Okay. And both are total derivative. In some books, both are written as dash, g dash, and f dash. But here follow the crazy. There we are. There they use dot and dash separately. Okay. So f of x into g dot of t equal to c squared f double dash of x into g of t. Now we group the variables in separating the variables. That is the meaning. That is f double dash of x by f of x equal to g dot of t by c square g of t. Is it okay? Whether am I right? Is it okay? Now you integrate. That is, now you just see, this is just a function of x alone. This is function of t alone. So two different terms, they are equal. So it has some common ratio. I take it as k. Okay, since left hand side is consists of only x and the right hand side consists of, that is left hand side depends only on x, right hand side depends only on x. These two are equal. Therefore, these two must be equal to some constant ratio. That constant value I can take it as k. So k is a constant. So both are functions of x and t respectively, but they are equal. So it must be equal to some constant. The constant is taken as k. Okay. So thus f double dash of x by f of x equal to k implies f double dash of x or okay, we have to form the equation, isn't it? Minus k into f of x is 0. This is one equation. And similarly, g dot of t, both are the derivative, you should be keep in your mind. Equal to k implies g dot of t minus c squared into g of t equal to 0. Okay. Already we are having equation 1, equation 2. I take this is equation 3 and this is equation 4. So we are just arrived at two differential equations. Now you have to solve these two equations. That is, we have to find f and g. Okay. The 3 and 4 are two ordinary differential equations because f dash is nothing but df by dt. Therefore, f double dash is d squared f by dt square. Sorry, this is not t. So f of x is f dash is x with respect to x. It's not t. F dash equal to df by dx. Please change. F dash is df by dx. Because we are differentiating with respect to x now. Everybody is sleeping, isn't it? Dou u by dou t, we are doing for g. Dou u by dou x for f. F is a function of x. Therefore, f dash is df by dx. Okay? It is not t. Therefore, we have to solve these two equations, 3 and 4. That is, we have to find the values of f and g. Okay? That is, we have to find f and g.
Ma'am, in equation 4, where is k, ma'am?
Okay, I have to write k must be there. Thank you. Any other error? Okay. So we have to find f and g so that u equal to, we have taken u equal to fg, isn't it? Satisfying the boundary condition 1. Okay. We have to find f and g so that u equal to fg, which satisfies the boundary conditions y. 1. Okay. Now, from 1, u of 0 comma t, isn't it? 0 comma t equal to 0 implies this is x equal to 0 and t is t. Therefore, f of 0 into g of t equal to 0. Is it clear? Because u is equal to fg. That is this one. U of x equal to f of x into g of t. Therefore, u of 0 comma t will be f of 0 into g of t equal to 0. Similarly, u of L comma t is 0 implies f of L into g of t equal to 0. Okay. Since the product is 0, any one of the term may be 0. Okay. If g equal to 0, then u will be 0. If any one of them will be 0, that is, this is f of 0 is the value of f at a particular value. It is not a problem. But here g of t means for every t this g will be 0. That is the meaning. Therefore, if g equal to 0 means g of t equal to 0 for every t. That is the meaning. If g equal to 0, then automatically this u will be 0. That is not a, that is the temperature is 0. But we have to study the heat equation. That is the variation of the heat, variation of the temperature we are studying. Therefore, when g equal to 0, the u itself is 0. That is, this case is not of interest. Okay. So, which is of no interest. The temperature is 0 means there is nothing existed. So, we are not taking g equal to 0. Therefore, g is taken as non-zero. Is it clear? It may be, that is, product is equal to 0. Either f of 0 equal to 0 or g of t equal to 0. F of 0 equal to 0 means that it is particularly at x equal to 0, the f is 0. But g of t equal to 0 means for every t, g is 0. That is the meaning. Therefore, g equal to 0 means g of t equal to 0 for every t. That is, g of t equal to 0 for every t means u will be 0 automatically. Therefore, it is not a existing one. That is not an interesting case. Okay. Therefore, I take these two are not equal to 0. Therefore, or hence, what you get, f of 0 equal to 0 and f of L equal to 0. Okay. That is, at the end points, the function value, that is f will be 0. That is the meaning here. Okay. I take as this as these things are used in the sequence. Therefore, I take f of 0 is 0, f of L equal to 0 as equation number 5. Okay. Now, k is taken as constant, isn't it? The k may be either positive, negative or 0. Suppose I take k is 0. Okay. So, when k equal to 0, from equation 3, f double dash is 0, isn't it? Is it 3 or 3? Okay. When k equal to 0, from equation 3, we get f double dash of x equal to 0. That is, if you integrate this, f dash of x is equal to some constant. Is it? Integrating f dash, we get f dash of x equal to a constant. Again integrating f of x equal to ax plus b, where a and b are constants. That is integrating constants. Okay. So we found the f of x in terms of A and B. That is, we have found our aim is we have to find what is F, what is G by using the property that U equal to Fg and satisfying equation 1. So from equation 1 only we have writing F of 0 equal to 0 and F of L equal to 0. Now using this initial condition 5 we find what is A and B. Okay. Using the initial condition 5 we find what is A and B. Okay. What is F of 0? F of 0 is A into 0 plus B. Okay. That is, what is F of 0? From 5, F of 0 is 0. 0 equal to B. So this is using 5. Okay. That is, we are getting B equal to 0. And actually we have to find what is A also. From 5, we know what is F of L. So put X equal to L in the equation. That is F of L equal to AL plus B. But B is already 0, we know. So this is AL. What is F of L? It is again 0. F of L is 0. Huh? Therefore, what is our A? L is not 0. Why L is not 0? L is the length of the wire. Okay? It cannot be 0. Therefore, A is 0. Okay? A 0, B 0. Therefore, this equation f of x will be, hence, f of x will be 0. Okay. This is true for every x. F of x equal to 0 for every x. Therefore, u equal to 0, which is also not interest. Okay. Therefore, k cannot be 0. That is our finding. Okay. Therefore, u equal to 0, which is also of not interest. No interest. Okay. We have to find what is the variation of temperature. That is our question. Therefore, the cases where we get u equal to 0 has to be omitted. Okay. Therefore, k equal to 0 is, when k equal to 0, we are getting arrive at this. Therefore, we cannot take k equal to 0. Okay. Therefore, if k is positive, I take, then k will be some what mu square. Okay. Book it is denoted mu, so I take mu, or you can take some what L squared, M squared, and N squared also. Okay. So this is equation 3, isn't it? F double dash. Now, for equation 3 becomes, because why I take equation 3, it consists of only k alone, therefore we can easily differentiate. That is a second derivative equation. Okay, this can be written as f double dash minus k into f. That is d square minus k into f equal to 0, like that. So we can solve the equation easily. That's what we are using on the third equation. Okay. What's the value? Equation 3 becomes f double dash of x minus mu square f equal to 0. Is it okay? So for this, to solve this, I write the auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is m square minus mu squared equal to 0, isn't it? What is our m? M equal to here plus or minus mu. Okay, this is m square minus mu square equal to 0. The auxiliary equation. Instead of y, we are having f, and a differential equation. This can be written as d square minus what? Mu square into f equal to 0. So we are solving this equation. Okay, what is the solution for this? Therefore, f is equal to a into e power mu x plus b into e power minus mu x, where a and b are constant. Okay. Now we use the initial condition, that is equation 5. So what is f of 0? Actually this f is f of x. Okay. We want I write f of x. What is f of 0? You put x is equal to 0. E raised to 0 is 1. Therefore a plus b. What is f of L? F of L is, this implies f of 0 is 0. Therefore a plus b equal to 0. Okay. And f of L, here you just put x equal to L here. So a into e power mu L plus b into e power minus mu L. That's all. That implies a e power mu L plus b e raised to minus mu L equal to 0. Okay. Now you multiply this equation by what time? E power mu L. Okay. R, that is very pretty. R, you just substitute a equal to minus b here. That is okay, no? This implies minus b e raised to b L plus b e raised to minus mu L equal to 0, since a equal to minus b. Okay. That is, I take minus b outside. Okay. E power mu L minus e power minus mu L equal to 0. That is, this is sin hx, and here this is equal to minus b into sin of h mu L. Okay. And this L is never 0. Okay. And therefore this time will not be 0. Therefore b will be 0. And mu is a constant. Okay. This mu is not equal to 0. Both mu is mu not equal to 0 and L is not equal to 0. Actually, 2i will be there. Okay. This is minus b into 2i. So I have already explained you. Okay. That is sin e power x minus e power minus x is 2i sin hx. Okay. So using this property. Therefore, b equal to 0. Since b equal to 0, what is a? A is also 0. And therefore, hence, a is also 0. So both a, b 0, a 0, therefore f is 0. Isn't it? Therefore, this equation. Therefore, from star, f of x equal to 0. Hence, u equal to 0, which is not talking test. Okay. Therefore, when k is 0, we are arriving that u equal to 0, and when k is positive, we are arrived at u equal to 0. Therefore, the only possibility is value of k is negative. K is negative. That is k equal to minus some p square. So p square means it is a positive. I have put one minus. Therefore k must be negative. Therefore equation 3 becomes, this is now we have find what is k. Now we are solving the equation. Okay. So this is step 2. We are solving the equation. That is the meaning. So here from equation 3 implies f double dash of x. So minus p squared into f equal to 0. That is f double dash of x plus p squared into f of x equal to 0. So for this also we can find the auxiliary equation. So auxiliary equation is m squared plus p squared equal to 0. So m equal to actually minus p squared. So m equal to plus or minus ip. So this is the roots are complex, isn't it? Roots are complex values. Therefore, f will be, what is the f? F equal to, I take a into cos px plus b into sin px. If you have any confusion, I take a1 and b1. It's not a problem for us. Just it is a constant, okay? Again you use 5. So from 5, f of 0 equal to 0 implies, what is this? 0 equal to, okay, f of 0 is 0 equal to, this is a1 cos 0 plus b1 sin 0. Is it okay? This implies 0 equal to a1 because sin 0 is 0 and cos 0 is 1. Therefore, a1 is 0. And again from 5, f of l is also 0. Okay. This implies f of l I put, instead of x we are putting l. So a1 cos pl plus b1 sin pl equal to 0. Since a is 0, that is a1 is 0, a1 is 0. Therefore, this implies 0 equal to b1 sin pl. Okay. Since a1 is 0. Okay, if b1 equal to 0, then if a1 is 0, b1 0, okay, a1 0, b1 0, then in that case, this equation, if b1 equal to 0, then f is equal to 0, isn't it? So this is also not interested, so we should take what? b1 not equal to 0. That is product of two terms is not equal to 0 and one is not equal to 0, therefore other should be equal to 0. Hence, what? Sin of PL must be equal to 0. Sin PL equal to 0 means for what values of sin the value will be 0. It may be either 0 or pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, etc. Therefore, PL must be n pi, where n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. Therefore, what is our P? We have to find out what is our K. That is our P. P equal to n pi by, where n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. So particularly if you take this B1 is not equal to 0, if I take B1 equal to 1, what you get? This is B1 equal to 1. So I take this as equation 6 setting b1 equal to 1, we get f, actually f of x, equal to this a1 is already 0. Therefore, b1 is 1 into sine of, what is our p? N pi by L x. But what is our n? N equal to 0, 1, 2 and so on. But f equal to 0 is not interested, so I omit the 0 also, where n equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. Then also, if p equal to when n equal to 0, that is not a problem. I can take n equal to 1, 2 itself, isn't it? 1, 2. You strike out this 0. Here, from here also, I take n equal to 1. So generally, we will consider for angle it is n equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. So since it depends on n, I write for n equal to 1, you are getting one solution, n equal to 2, you are getting. So I have n number of solutions. So I put, instead of n, I put fn. Okay. Instead of f, I have put fn of x. Okay, therefore, we have find what is our f. Now, similarly, you have to find the solution for the equation 4. So, what is our 4? 4 is, equation 4 is, what is our 4? Z dot, isn't it? Z dot minus, I don't know, k, c squared, g equal to 0. Is it okay? Just to check. What is k? K is minus p squared. C squared g equal to 0. That is g dot minus plus. What is p squared? P is n pi by L. C squared into g equal to 0. Okay. Am I right? Therefore, g dot plus, I have, this is square. This is square. So n squared, pi squared, c squared by L into g equal to 0. That is g dot plus lambda n, here also square. So g equal to 0. This is square. Where lambda n equal to n pi c by L. So just to check whether am I right or not. Okay. So we have find the solution for f. Similarly, we have to, that is we have solved for f. Similarly, we have to find the value of g also. Okay. Therefore, g dot equal to minus lambda n square g. G dot by g equal to minus lambda n square. So if we integrate this, what you get? Log g equal to minus lambda n square. G is a function of t. G is a function of t that you have to mind. So this is g of t. Therefore here t. That is integrate with respect to t. Integrate with respect to t. Okay. Integrate with respect to t. Therefore, log of g of t equal to minus lambda n square t plus some integrating constant will be there. I take some c1, okay, c1, because we are having one c already here. One c is there. Therefore, this is c raised to minus lambda n square t plus c1 equal to g of t. Okay. That is g of t equal to e raised to minus lambda n square t into e power c1. So this for every n we are having one g. Therefore, this gn can be taken as this I taken as gn of t equal to, and this constant I take bn e raised to minus lambda n square t. Okay. For every n we have some constant. That's what I am taking. Or you can take this as c, instead of c you take cn for n. So e power cn is taken as bn. Okay. But bn is a constant. Where bn is a constant. Therefore, what is our, actually we have to solve u. Okay. Therefore, un of x comma t is fn of x into gn of t. Is it clear? Therefore, what is fn? Fn is, this is your fn. And what is your gn? This is your gn. Now you substitute both values. So this is sine n pi by nx into bn e raised to minus lambda n square t. Okay, un of x comma t is sine of, that can be written as, that is un of I just write only 2 steps, but the problem is not over. I will continue in the next class. Okay, you just taken up to this. Okay, that is un of x comma t is bn sine n pi by lx. Okay, into e raised to minus lambda n square t, where n equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. So this is equation, I take 7, isn't it? So these are called un, are called solution of heat equation Roman letter 1 satisfying the boundary properties. What are the boundary properties? Equation 1 again, isn't it?
Ma'am,
Yes.
does bn change for every n, ma'am?
Bn change for every n, because for every lambda n we have some constant that exists. Okay. For n vary, it is an integrating constant, so it may be changed. G dot by g, it is all it is same. Yes. Bn will not change, no. This is g dot by g equal to minus lambda n square. So it will be changed for, but lambda n will be changed. C will not change. No. Bn will not change. Isn't it? Okay. We will discuss it. Okay, ma'am. Then we can write only B. No. Yes. I will explain why we are writing Bn in the next class. Okay. The problem is still not completed. Okay. What is the mode of exam? What is the mode of exam? Means it is online exam. What is your doubt? Mode of exam? Please give 10 to 15 minutes for scanning and uploading the document. Okay, ma'am, then we can write only B. Okay, that is okay. What is the mode of exam? And the test is out of how much marks? Like a classroom, Google Form, mail. Oh, the exam is online exam, isn't it? So you are writing the exam, I have to invigilate through online. It is not a classroom, this is not Google class form, Google form, it is not, neither it is mail, okay? You should switch on your audio, sorry, not audio, it is video. Video is compulsory to every one of you, okay? Every one of you, video should be on. Where to upload the paper? You upload the answer sheet in Google Classroom after finishing the exam. If you are writing the exam 2 to 3, if I start the exam from 2:05, you finish the exam by 3:05. Okay? The exam will be 2:05 to 3:05. One thing. After writing the exam, in the presence of physically you have to present in front of your mobile, and your video should be on throughout the entire 1 hour and till uploading the answer sheet. Okay, till uploading the answer sheet you must be on online mode. Time for scanning and uploading. Times for scanning and uploading is only 10 minutes is enough. Yesterday only the fourth year students have completed the exam, that is internal test. They have submitted the question paper answer sheet within 10 minutes. Okay, so you are a very, ma'am, the test is out of how much mark? The test is already I have explained, no, it is out of 30 marks and I will convert it into 25 marks. Okay, how many questions? How many questions in the sense, if you want 4 questions, out of 4, it is enough to write 3 questions. And the questions may have subdivisions. Okay? If for scanning 10 minutes, then exam, no. The exam is 1 hour plus 10 minutes for scanning. For 1 hour, weightage will be there. For scanning, I won't include the exam time. Please send a link in Google Classroom to submit answers. Yes, I will send the link tomorrow. Okay? Tomorrow I will send you the Google Classroom link. Then, and one more thing is I will show the question paper in presentation mode only. I won't send the question paper to email. Okay, I will be in front of you, and if you want to scroll or if you want any clarification, you may ask anytime. Okay, and be careful. Every one of you should be in video mode. That is very important. Any other question? Okay, you study well and write properly. All the best.